Yes, welcome back. Thanks for staying there as we begin our discourse on the show this morning. And I'm glad to let you know that my guest is here. Now, if you follow the newspaper review, you'll get to find out that I did say that today we're taking a look at a very, very important situation that is happening right now as affects us and the United States amid current global situation. The United States has issued that a security threat adversary to its citizens in Nigeria, especially those working at the embassy, telling them to be careful, especially those who live in Abuja, which and the federal government is kicking against that security adversary from the United States. From our end, we're taking a look at situations happening. We all know what's going on in Nigeria, not just, we're not talking about Abuja per se, using what's going on in Benue and of course what's going on in Jos and in the eastern part of our nation. For this to happen, a lot of people will tell you that look, Abuja is relatively peaceful, but that is not how the United States sees it, as it has issued a security threat adversary to its citizens living here. So this morning we're taking a look at hunger, poverty, security threats as federal government kicks as U.S. issues adversary on Abuja. My guest this morning to help us understand and push the discourse further is Comrade Salihu Dantata Mahmud, is a social affairs analyst, is also the former bureau chief of Daily News Abuja, former chief press secretary, Gwagwalada Area Council, former advisor to Reps member Abuja South Federal Constituency on media and intelligence, is also the former PA media to the Interior Minister. It's so nice to have you once again on the press.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes, so there's a lot going on amid global, present global situation, the United States, Iran, and of course Israel in the mix. The daily papers today told us that Iran launched a missile at U.S. base in Qatar, and of course the face-off between Iran and the United States, which we already have, we're all aware of. And of course, the news that we got this morning that there's definitely ceasefire between Iran and Israel, which of course was announced by the United States President Donald Trump. But what we're particular about is this latest security threat adversary that came out of nowhere. Though this is not the first time we've had such a thing happen. On his website, the United States had initially, posted this adversary to employees of its embassies in Nigeria to be careful. The warning is nobody visits any military base or government sites without having a reason to go there. And presently, the federal government is kicking against this presently. From the top, I would want us to begin to analyze why this would happen presently, because for me, for someone who stays in Abuja, that there's no security threat on the surface. But again, it's the United States we're talking about, and they say there's no smoke without fire. Nobody would understand the reason why they come out to say that. Is there something that goes beyond what we see on the surface presently as the federal government kicks? Do you also do that?
Well, I will take it from two faces.
Okay.
One, the American version,
okay,
then the Nigerian government version. You see, America has this policy of total protection of its citizens across the world. Sometimes when there are crises in areas, they take that immediate step to evacuate them wherever they are. And coming to Nigeria, our sovereignty, our internal security lies under our federal government. We have a Ministry of Interior, we have National Security Advisor's Office, we have the Defense Headquarters, we have the Force Headquarters, which is for the police, then we have the Department of State Services and host of others. Even though we know that Iran has a lot of followership across the world, because in Nigeria, for instance, we have the Shia movement. Maybe because of periodical disturbances by the Shia movement in Nigeria, the American government is saying that because there are allegations regarding American involvement in the Iran-Israeli conflicts and war, therefore some of their nationals in Nigeria might fall prey or be a target, maybe from Shia followership and what have you. But it remains a mere assumption, because sometimes you cannot predict. Don't forget, this is Federal Capital Territory, and we have the President and Commander-in-Chief here. We have the service chiefs here. Even though we know sometimes we used to have some skeletal phone tapes, what have you, at certain areas. But I know the FCT Police Command over time has also taken certain actions to carry on surveillance, the DSS2, for people that sometimes go home late, 1 o'clock, 12 maybe, because of their work time. You can sometimes periodically see the Department of State Services, bikers, including their e-loxies, hovering around the city center and across. Then the police also, you know, they have division, they have area commands and also others. Then the gas brigades too, they move severally. I see them from Asokoro moving in convoy, like convoy patrol across. So I think it was too early for the American government to, through their embassy, you know, issue this, restriction on movement of the issue. Even to a layman, how do you even differentiate between a Russian, German, American, Iranian, and what have you? Outside their embassy officials who carry certain plate numbers that only us that know security knows it. How many other laymen know what the number plate of American embassy is, what the number plate of British High Commission is, what the number plate of Ghanaian, Gambia, French, Irish, and other things. So you see, sometimes exaggeration doesn't help. So the fact that it has been insinuated in many quarters that America is supporting Israel in this war with Iran will not make an average Nigerian that is thinking of how to pay school fees, thinking of how to transport to office, thinking of how to parent, thinking of how to take care of kids and kin in their home states and also for that to start attacking Americans. We have maintained that relationship even during General Sani Abacha administration, when sanctions were imposed on the administration for 5.5 years. There was never a time, whether in Victoria Island where they have their embassies, Ikoyi, whether in Aso Drive in Abuja here, where any American school or even their embassy was attacked. I think Nigerians have been very friendly with Americans.
Now, Mahmoud, there's no peace for me. If you ask me, there's no peace anywhere. There's no part of the globe that is at rest right now. Now, for me too, it's a paradox that United States will issue an advisory at this time out of the blues for the FCT with what they're doing with the rest of the world, especially what is happening with Iran, in recent times. And of course, like you rightly said, the fact that it appears, or it is a known fact, that the United States is right behind, making sure that they are in the middle between Israel and what is going on in Iran, and by implication, the rest of the world. Because as you rightly know, with the little that has happened in recent times, we've seen prices of oil go up. In Nigeria, it has affected flights in Nigeria also. There's a prediction and fear that prices of airfares will go up. It's something that it's a global situation right now, that's going on. But the question is, do you actually think the fear is because of the United States thinks there's going to be reprisal right here from Nigeria, which is very funny, like the explanation that you've given to us for this particular adversary to come at this point. Why, in your opinion, do you think this will happen, knowing fully well that Nigerians are very peaceful people? We do not go out of our ways, even within us in the country, have reprisal attacks. We're not that type of people. It's not in our culture. It's not in our blood. So why the fear coming out of Nigeria? Again, remember during Obasanjo's tenure, the United States actually sent a warning to Nigerians about insecurity, the rise of insecurity in the nation, Boko Haram situation. They hinted at it, ISIS in Nigeria, before that little boy. The only wake-up call we got was when that little chap in Kano, was it Kaduna, actually took explosives into the Christmas Day situation where explosives were found on a plane. That is when it became real that it is possible for such to happen. Do you think we could marry that this particular warning with the United States actually having or knowing something that we do not know right now that is ongoing?
You see, intelligence gathering differs across the world.
Okay.
The way the Russian KGB gathers their own intelligence differs from that of CIA or FBI of America, and the way Nigerian Intelligence Agency, DSS, DFI, Force CID and others gather their own intelligence, including the DMI, DIA, Directorate of Naval Intelligence, Air Intelligence and others, differs. But the issues are sometimes these first world countries seems to underrate the intelligence apparatus of third world and developing countries, and that severally had created fiction amongst us, because I can imagine an independent nation, a sovereign nation, even if there are certain privileged intelligence information before you, courtesy demand that you alert the authorities in your host country, because by doing that you are acting like the world police that you have been called, which ought not to be. Let me give you an instance. In this country, for any diplomat that is in Nigeria, Foreign Affairs has their list, and periodically they have a dean of diplomatic corps where they normally have interactions and what have you. And for the intelligence apparatus, courtesy demands the American intelligence report and what have you. You share it with Chief of Defense Staff, National Security Advisor, Inspector General of Police, DG, NIA, or even DSS at worst. That is how it works. So I feel it is this mentality of, technologically I'm above, I'm a developing country, I'm a developed country, sorry to say, and this and that. We have star generals and what have you, even among the Committee of Nations. Like if you look at now, the Iranian foreign minister was in Russia, and you saw what Vladimir Putin told him vehemently. Right now, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, under the hosting right of the Turkish President Erdogan, they held meetings where they are calling for ceasefire. Then again, even the United States President Donald Trump is asking Qatar to use its closeness to Iran to advise it so that there can be ceasefire. This 12-hour ceasefire is as a result of efforts made by French President and also of other people. So that is to tell you globally, no world want to go to war. Even in some states in America, you can see the protests and also other things. But what I have to say here is, no matter what advice the American government gives to its nationals or citizens in Nigeria, I think it lies on the Nigerian authorities, and I'm very, very optimistic that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a president and commander-in-chief, will be on top of the situation. Don't forget, America is not new to him. He had stayed there before. Are you getting my point? So with that global connection, I think it's going to do a lot of things to tell them that it is not what you think. You see, sometimes when they are seeing certain things happening in Benue, this killing in Mangu of some travelers, Plateau, like yesterday, there were certain information from Kwara border area, Okuta, to say around evening, where one Alhaji Dauda was kidnapped, and in the process where the vigilantes went to rescue him, then he lost his life. Then even one of the vigilantes, due to confrontation, lost his life. Then above all, in Lapai, Niger State here, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, the student had said they had alerted the authorities of skeletal robbery and also other things, which they dismissed, but they killed the only child of a family. When they went to snatch his phone, in the process they killed him. His corpse has been carried home. So I think this is also an advice and a clarion call on, because that university is a state university. It belongs to the Niger State government. So His Excellency Ahmadu Bago, the governor of Niger State, should please collaborate with the army as well as the police to provide enough security for Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University in Lapai, because the students, the undergraduates have even protested. They are not secured for now. The local government chairman alone cannot do it. So the Commissioner of Police, Commandant of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Director DSS and auditor. In fact, this is something that the Inspector General of Police as well as Chief of Defense Staff need to get into, so that these are people's children. It is not only where ministers' children are going to school, or senators, or generals, or maybe top echelons of the society. No, they also have life. So let us imbibe the culture of or practice of live and let's live, and not material. So what I have to say is, with this American tribal movement advisory that their nationals or citizens should not go to military formations or government, what have you, I think the National Security Advisor can hold joint post conference together with the service chiefs, Inspector General of Police, to further, give a kind of motivation and confidence, impose confidence in them that it is not what you think. If you are privy to certain intelligence information, this is not how it is. So this is the time for our top echelons in the security apparatus to also prove to them, because this fear, if it allowed to escalate, can also affect the mindset of other nationals in Nigeria.
Exactly.
We have Germans,
to do the same,
and also others.
Which is not going to be good for us.
That is it. So if the Finnish citizens now start allaying fear, that is Finland. What do you now say?
No, that's a groundwork for chaos.
So I think it should be tackled before it blows out of proportion.
Definitely. Yes. So the advisory says that American citizens, especially employees of the embassy, should avoid large gatherings and consider limiting unnecessary travel. Avoid predictable routings or routes. Familiarize themselves with emergency exits when they enter buildings. Review their personal security plans. It's just on and on and on, and just like you said, there's a need for us, for this program, to actually let the Americans know that there is relative peace in Abuja. We do not know where they are getting this information from, saying that there emergence of insecurity or security threats in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. But we're just here to let the American citizens know. We're here to let Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, know that there is peace in Abuja, where we are broadcasting from right now. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation will continue. Then the phone lines will be open and you can be part of the conversation. Stay with us. Yes, welcome back. The conversation continues as we open our phone line, so you can be part of the conversation from home. Make sure you begin to call right now once you see the phone lines. Our topic this morning, amidst hunger, poverty, security threats, federal government kicks as U.S. issues advisory on Abuja. My guest is still here, comrade Salihu Dantata Mahmud, who is a social affairs analyst. So please call in and be part of the conversation. Now we can pick your call. Now, Mahmud, the question I want to ask you is ironic that after all that has happened between America or the United States and Iran, after the targeted airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facility, that we wake up in the morning and we're getting security advisory from the United States. One would imagine that it would be the reverse, with other countries warning their citizens and giving out security advisory, on the United States, and not the flip.
Well, when you look at, first of all, Nigeria is not into any confrontation with any country. So why that? If people are still traveling to United States of America, there are cities like Washington, D.C., Illinois, California, Maryland, Alabama, Rhode Island, and also others. What now stop Americans from traveling, coming to Nigeria, going to Lagos, going to Port Harcourt, going to Calabar, going to Kaduna, going to Kano, or even Zamfara? So you see sometimes from afar how they portray or present certain things don't work that way. I can vividly recall during Abuja administration, because I was a player, where we had to be doing a kind of image laundering for Nigeria, because when you sit down, you see USIS, then United States Information Service, they will issue this, there's so this and this. The ambassador will say this. We will now come, and sometimes we even travel to Cotonou or Lomé in Togo to go and make such press conferences that it is not what you are saying about Nigeria.
That's the reality.
That the dollar is stable here, this is that, that is this. So same thing is repeating itself under a democratic setup, which ought not to be. So I think this in totality is infringement on our right as a country, as a sovereign nation, independent nation. And we have a lot of bilateral treaties with America. For example, if you go to US, you even have where Nigerian restaurants are, where you can eat idika-ikom, tuwo shinkafa,
Nigerian nightclubs.
Yes, like yesterday night, a friend of mine, he's an American, he called me from California. He said, "Hi, Salihu, how you doing there?" I said, "I'm okay. What is happening there?" I said, "You can see the time in Nigeria is so time. What's the time there?" He says so and so. He said, "What can you tell me?" I said, "So far, I have moved from Wuse in Abuja to Mississippi in Maitama." Are you getting my point? To other areas of the city.
And that's calm.
Notice is happening. He now said, "How come our government is trying to say that?" I said, "That is just an insinuation, because practically I'm here. Oh, you want me to drop and I engage you in video call?" You see, I also displayed patriotism. He said, "Okay, no problem." And we did that. And I went to one of the junctions for him to see that vehicles are moving. And I was calm. If you know my Tama roundabout, near the defense guest house, that was where I stood. And I put it on video call. He was seeing vehicles moving near the British Library, that council building.
Yes.
He was impressed. You see, what I have done is citizenry role I'm playing as a Nigerian. As a Nigerian. Like what we're doing right now. Right now, yes, what KAFTAN TV is doing now. So what every Nigerian should do now, irrespective of tribe, religion, or whatever, let's be patriotic. If you have any call from America and they're trying to ask you of the situation, put it on video call. Let them see.
Social media is there
people are eating amala in Yakoyo.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
That our vehicle inspection officers are checking vehicles on the road. Police officers are on routine check. Everything is moving well. Let me tell you one thing. One of the most secured countries in Africa, forget about the things that are happening in Zamfara, Katsina, Plateau, Benue, and what have you. There are certain political forces that don't also want Nigeria to be in peace. These are the issues, because we have seen where in the Benue you are having crisis today, where the same Fulani, Tiv, Agatu, Idoma people had lived in peace. Like the secretary, to government of the federation said, it had economic meanings. Certain people want to bank on this. If not, how can villages be invaded just like that? Like the chief of defense staff said, he said some of the people that attacked these communities in Yellowater and what have you, that the inhabitants of Yellowater had accommodated them.
Once upon a time.
They dined together. And they came and did that. Look at what happened for the 12 travelers from Zaria going for a wedding in Kwampam.
That missed their
way in Mangu. Illiteracy and poverty pushed. Were it to be councillors in that local government or chairman, they wouldn't have talked about those youths of Mangu that perpetrated. You can see even their governor was very, very angry. So the issues are, if they should fight poverty, fight illiteracy. Thank God we have organizations like the Youth Literacy and Social Empowerment Foundation that was recently inaugurated in Asokoro Capital Club, where the Youth Literacy and Social Empowerment Foundation said they are going to go to nooks and crannies of Nigeria, whether it is Fulani, whether it is TV, whether it is Shekiri, Boko, Baruba, Tonu, Hausa, Yoruba. They are going to ensure they carry out certain civic education, because people need to know that you don't need to harm your brother, whether it's Muslim or Christian, whether it's Fulani, Hausa, Tibi or Idoma. We are all one. It might interest you to know that there is a particular title of the thieves that is called Zegemule,
what does it mean?
Shelter of the thief people. The Zegemule thief they had before was former secretary to government of the Federation, Ali Muhammad, a Fulani man from Jama local government area, Kafachan, in Kaduna State. That's for you to see how the relationship has been. The present Zegemule thief is former vice president and 2023 presidential candidate of PDP, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Is the present Zegemule thief also a Fulani from Adamawa State. So there has been relationship between the Fulanis and the thief. And if I want to tell you, that late former secretary to government of the Federation, Alhaji Ali Muhammad, he had no second home than Makurdi. In fact, I can tell you, he died in an accident when he went for a function in Makurdi and he was returning back alongside his son Shehu, who is a deputy director in one of the ministries today. He's a Fulani man from Kafanchan. He was the Zegemule thief, the shelter of the thief people, the late Tortif. Alfred gave him that title. Atiku is also the Tortif. So the issue I want to say is that some politicians who don't have interest of the country should not dent the image. They can see what is happening now. Without the backdoor negative activities of certain citizens, America wouldn't go and start issuing this. There is no smoke without fire. So let's be patriotic. Like in 1998, I wrote one article in New Nigeria newspapers. The New Nigeria is no longer publishing. The title was Nigeria Media and the Nation. When certain mediums were tarnishing the image of Nigeria through the tablets and what have you, I came out as a young man then and wrote that. I still have it in my archives. I never had 100,000 in my account then. Then if you have my account in Union Bank, there was no more than 30,000. But you know, even though 30,000 was valuable, today, at 50, when I go into my archives and bring out those New Nigerian newspaper publications, I feel very happy. I can also vividly recall when Obasanjo was elected, before his inauguration, you know, they stayed for some months before their inauguration, when they were saying, how can military people be rebranding, doing and this? I went without getting anything from anybody. I took my pen, I wrote an article, Retired Generals as Citizens. That is to say, since they fought to unite us during the Biafran Civil War, you see, they gave him their life. The likes of Bahari were like captain, General Babangida were captain. And also of Alani Akiriade, and also of Benjamin Adekule, Olusegun Obasanjo, Murtala Mohammed of blessed memory, Yaradua, and also of others. They fought that war. So if they fought to unite us, what now stopped them to come and participate in democratic experiment? Then beyond that, in that same article, I said they should create National Talents Commission. All these issues you say somebody should go to, no, from secondary school, start realizing where their talent lies. If that advice was followed, by now, you won't be fighting for JAM, NECO or anything. The issue is you have already realized where the talent lies. Then let 70% technological related studies go. Look at what is happening in Iran. They were on, even with the sanctions. Look at the type of action. Look at Israel and also others.
Definitely. Please call in. This is the time for you to call in and be part of the conversation. Yes, so you can call in and let us know your take on what is on ground right now. The topic is right there on your screen. Hunger, poverty, security threats. Federal government kicks as U.S. issues advisory on Abuja. Now, we've been talking about the advisory. Again, let us come more closer home as we take a look at more national issues away from the adversary that has come from the United States presently. Okay, we have our first call. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Comrade Williams. I am actually calling from Abuja here.
Okay, Williams, go ahead.
Oh, okay, network is not okay. I really appreciate your program, most especially this morning. But I want to your guests have done very well, trying to explain how things work those days, and to tell you the real truth, that is not how it's working these days now. Like, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go on.
Okay, like that call that he made in Abuja, in an inside city center, inside my summer, that midnight. He can't make that call here in Katampe 1 at that midnight. And Katampe 1 is in FCT, Abuja, inside Abuja here. Another one is this. You see the issue of poverty in FCT, Abuja here. Two things is one of the major reasons why people are so impoverished. One, the electricity bill in FCT is deadly. Two, the issue of subsidy is gone. It's another problem again. So these two things now, it has caused serious poverty in FCT, it has caused serious insecurity in FCT, and so on. So whenever they are discussing about Nigeria, Abuja, and the rest of it, they should take it closer to the city, the nearest village, the nearest rural area.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let me stop from here for others to continue.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So the comrade just took us straight into, diverted us into hunger and, of course, poverty and insecurity. He has mentioned that, you know what, what you said from the area that you called is different from other parts of Abuja. That's what he pointed out. And yes, he talked about poverty and hunger in the land, which still remains a reality today. And I want us to talk about that. Amidst insecurity, the poverty still prevails in the land, and the hunger still prevails in the land. And our caller has actually made us understand that when you marry these two together, there is no way we won't have insecurity in the land, and of course what we are seeing presently. Okay, let us take another call from Maiduguri. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I'm saying Mohammed Maiduguri. Are you calling from Maiduguri?
Yes.
Okay.
As this man is talking, honestly speaking, all of us, if we can come, can you hear me now?
We can hear you perfectly.
If all of us as Nigerians we can come together, if all of us as Nigerians can come together and find ourselves, honestly, I mean, do that and hardly get access into us and cause mayhem in us. The mistake we always do is that those preachers, pastors, imams, and name them, who were being sponsored to create division among us, are one of our enemies. Let me clearly say it. You see them flying or fly private jets, all these guys.
Okay, we lost that call. But we got the message that he spoke, that it's possible for us to live in harmony and peace, and I agree totally. But again, we talked about forces, political forces. Beyond political forces, there seems to be this force in Nigeria that wants to tear us apart. But we just need to be wise as a people and rise up above it, because common sense should be common. What is bad is bad, and what is good is good. And we should be guided by light. We should be guided by love. We should be guided by truth. And unity is what we pray for. We're talking about hunger and poverty, which is like a husband and wife that gives birth to insecurity. Caller has mentioned that, and I want you to talk about that.
The late first executive governor of Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakande, once said, when a country is devoid of human capacity building, there must be poverty, there must be a lot of deficiencies. That is what we are saying. Let me tell you, he introduced free education in Lagos State, where Deltans, people from Edo, Anambra, Kano, Oshun, even though Oshun was not created then, everybody benefited. Today, the architects you are seeing, civil engineers, generals and whatever, that were in Lagos, then they benefited. Okay, let's assume the way Jack and they took it from Lagos, other people took it. It wouldn't have been so. So for you to fight hunger and poverty, there must be education. After education, there must be human capacity building. Today, what do we have? Infrastructural facelift at the detriment of human capacity building. So the issue I want to put is this insecurity you are seeing, poverty, low literacy level, as well as other factors are also responsible.
Well, let us take a call, Mahmud. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, please. Can you put your phone close to your mouth so we can hear you properly?
I've loaded volume. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Calling from Benue State.
From Benue. Okay, please go ahead.
You see all this hunger, poverty, and all whatnot that is happening. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
All these things was brought about by this insecurity of people. Actually, where there is insecurity, there are so many things that will go wrong. People both in business, farming and the rest would not go forward. But especially if you look to it in Benue State now. Now this is the planting season. So many villages are being displaced. And it happens that these people could not go to their homes to prepare their farmlands and farm against the coming season. Then there are much hunger that will still come up. So what I'm looking up to is just that all our, politicians, they knew quite okay that all these poor masses are the people that voted them into this office. Let them keep their sword on the ground. Forget about political affiliations or political party of the thing. Let's move ourselves way forward. There was a man that was saying something as of yesterday. He says it happens that they feel that maybe they are in Abuja and they feel that what is the insecurity that is taking place in their place here happens to take the whole people. That these same people also come after them in Abuja there. So let's just look up to the poor masses. Let's do something, come together as one and actualize our dreams.
Okay. So we need to come together. He's speaking this particular caller again is talking about unity.
Yes.
We need to come together as one to actualize our dreams. Nobody, no savior from anywhere will come and help us as a people.
Yes.
The change that we seek for starts with you, starts with you, starts with every person. And the only people who can take this country to the greatness that we want is that one Nigerian that multiplies to two, and collectively I believe that we can achieve that. Before the call, you were actually making us understand a way out of poverty and of course hunger in the land.
Okay, let's take example now. Everybody from local government wants to come to the city for greener pastures. Who stays behind and go to farm? When we were growing up, the major occupation in major areas in Nigeria, including your place, even though you are gifted with petroleum resources and other things, was agriculture. Today, every youth wants to, after study, whether NC, ND, first degree, migrate to the city to work, not to even look back. Then again, most of the rural areas are left without good roads, without stable electricity, without other facilities, including, for example, it is ironic that in FCT here, you go to area councils, under area councils like Abaji, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Buhari, and you see dilapidated primary schools. I can tell you now, the teachers in FCT, they have been on strike for long. because of disagreement with area council chairman to pay certain, what have you. So the issue I'm saying, if we want to fight, you cannot fight insecurity without food security. That's why of recent they wanted to organize prayers in order for us to have food. It's not their fault. No, it's true, because like this caller said,
prayers for food.
I agree with this caller. He really nailed it on the board, because in Zamfara state now, where bandits are carrying out, even though the security forces are putting in their efforts, in Katsina state, in Borno, in some part of Kwara, Niger and others, how do you expect them to go to farm? It is very difficult.
It is very difficult.
Then, outside that, the encouragement is not also there.
Not there.
So we need to put certain things in order by encouraging agriculture once more at all levels.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Where are you calling from? What's your name, please?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Thank you. What's your name?
From Kaduna.
From Mina.
From Kaduna.
From Kaduna. Okay, I will call. Go ahead. Go ahead. Please let us have your contribution.
You see, the problem of hunger, poverty, and insecurity has become a problem to Nigeria. And it is in this political dispensation that we are having this kind of anomaly. And the political class that are ruling us, their effort has not really yielded the positive result. You see, our security apparatus should be top-notch in the world, because we have the best of soldiers, air force, navy, and everything. If our security goes out, they perform so very well that they are really commended worldwide. But why is it that they cannot be able to take on these ragtag bandit killer men and Boko Haram? That means there is something that is hindering this our security forces from fighting this fighting. You see, our security issue should not be politicized or commercialized or to make transactional, and that is what is happening. Because given all the possibilities, our armies can take on these people and get them off. And that is why, as your guest said, people are being forced to leave their habitations where the main focus is agriculture. When they are made to live in IDP camps now, farming has gone down. And that terrible has just launched 2,000 tractors. Where is the security in the farm that people will farm? Farmers are running in from the villages, and you see we are depending on subsistence farming. And this subsistence farming is what is keeping Nigeria on.
Okay, thank you so much. I was called from Kaduna. So you've heard the last call,
right.
The last caller,
yes.
All that he has said.
So I think what needed to be done now, the entire security apparatus should be restructured. We've given advices in areas that are prone to bandit attacks, insurgent attacks. When it happened in Maiduguri, there weren't anything like 7th Division or Theater Command before. It was as a result of Boko Haram insurgency they established it. Similar things should be established in Marte, like in Baga now. You have the naval base there. Like in Kwara, where the Mahmuda terrorists went to struck, you can establish army cantonment in Okuta, in Bartel local government area. Then in Kayama, you can establish Mopo Squadron or Squadron of Counterterrorism or even Air Force Base. Are you with me? Then in Katsina, all this Basari area, all these other Kankara, other areas they are having it. Then also in Benue, like this Yellow Water, automatically with the massacre that happened there, nothing should stop the Inspector General of Police by establishing counter-terrorism squadron or special forces training school there, or Mopo squadron there, or even the defense authorities or army authorities, the army battalion.
Okay, we have another call, Mahmud. Let's take that. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Good morning. What's your name, please? And where are you calling from?
Hello, I'm hearing you.
I can hear you, please. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
I am calling from Makodi.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to follow up with the last caller.
Okay, please go ahead.
I have lived in Makurdi for over 50 years.
50.
And Benue is the food basket of the nation. We are all aware that now farmers, for some time, farmers cannot go to the farm. Why will hunger not be in the country? And the few that are able to farm, the Fulanis will use the yams they have kept as indomie for the cows. So, some people are not lazy. Nigerians are not lazy. So must the Inspector General be your townsman? How do you want the other people who want to go to that position? How do you want to work as they want to work? Because they are not sure if they don't have Godfather. So we are saying that we just need to respect each other. That now every Nigerian should be given opportunity. So from their work, from their experience and what they are doing, that will end their position.
Okay, thank you so much, our friend from Makurdi. So you heard our friend from Makurdi, but he mentioned something. And a lot of people believe that that is actually the crux of the matter. That is where the war, the battle, the killings, the unrest, the insecurity stems from. The fact that after farmers have spent so much money to, create this huge farm with the anticipation of making money, not just money, but providing food for Nigerians, when these headers get into the farms, they do not eat around the grass around it, but they overtake and destroy the farm, the entire crop. And there is no, if these allegations are true, there is no way I own a farm and somebody comes from nowhere and just run it, just put in their livestock to eat up all the crops, eat up all the corn, eat up all the cassava and what have you. There is no way there won't be any reaction from me. And in an attempt to ward them off, there's always the attacks. So I don't know if you totally agree or you've had any information about this, and of course the way forward to ensure that we do not keep having incidences like this where headers just overrun farms and ask because it is really mean for such things to happen. So if it continues, how do we save lives, and how do we actually tackle hunger in the land? Again, the man from Benue says that farmers can't even go to their farms again because of insecurity. So how do we come out of this problem?
The questions we should ask ourselves, if you look at Plateau and Benue, during the military administrations we had, has there been crisis like that? That is one question you need to ask. Settler indigenous dichotomy also is a problem to it. Itato, this we are not taking into consideration. But when politicians came, they wanted to have free vote, control of people, they had to use certain languages. So that is why I am saying some politicians, due to lack of patriotism, love for people, are also architects of these problems. Itato in Plateau, we never had crisis until during Darie administration. That was from 2001. Ask yourself that question. We even had history of certain Fulani or Hausa that became Aliu Kama. Colonel Aliu Kama was from Adama Fulani, was military administrator of Plateau State. Are you with me? Mohammed Mana was a Fulani man from Adama State. Are you getting me? He was administrator of that state. Talk of others. How come in some local governments in Kwara State, like Kama local government, where the Shia local government Fulani. And this same way they run into people's farms, they do it there. We've not seen crisis there. How come in Barutel local government, there is nowhere in Nigeria, even Zampara, that Fulani and Hausa share the state? The Fulani enter the Hausa farms, do a lot of things, but there are certain things without political inclusion you can ignore. But some people, little things, they will say, no, don't agree. There are certain things sometimes when you look at, you ignore. I'm giving examples of this. Even in Niger, it happens. Even in Kebbi, where you see these same cattle rearers.
It happens all over Nigeria. In Delta State, in Edo State.
How come in Delta we've not seen where
it happens?
So the issue
reports. We keep having the reports coming.
So I think politicians, some bad politicians, should please desist from igniting fire. Some of these people that comes to carry out this massacre, they are not even Nigerians. We have seen on footage where the Fulbe they are speaking is Malian Fulbe. Somebody want to cause havoc, it will just go because we have porous nature of borders, bring some mercenaries, create havoc at the detriment of the domesticated Fulani. I cannot rule out also the involvement of some of their leaderships. Are you getting my point? But the issue is, it is high time, if you are a leader, whether a senator, House of Rep member, state assembly member, Mieti Allah, Chief Cultural Group, Idoma Cultural Group, your utterances should be of national interest. Because when an elder speaks, it goes a long way.
Let us take our last call. Let us just take this last call. Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from? You're our last caller for today on today's show. Go ahead, please.
My name is Manuel from Lagos State.
Please put a phone close to your mouth. We can barely hear you.
I heard what
Okay, we can't take that call because so we're rounding up. So I want your let's round up with all that we've discussed today. Your advice for the Nigerian government. Take a little bit advice for the American government, and of course the hunger situation we have in our nation.
The federal government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please restructure the security apparatus, because certain things are happening that needed to be tackled. Because you as commander-in-chief, you cannot be everywhere. There are certain people tasked with responsibility. When you restructure, there will be efficiency. Then let certain incentives be given in order for people to farm. Because instead of coming to look for white-collar jobs, people can go back to their communities and farm in their fertile lands. Then above all, let's not be insinuational. Let us allow practical. Like somebody was talking yesterday, we knew VIO. In the mornings you see them, they stop. We never knew the VIO in Abuja also have importance until when Okada start assaulting people even at their estate gates. There was a woman, it was the husband that came to save her. They followed them back to their own Trademore estate in Lube. Now when you are passing in bridges, you see keke napep, route violation, motorcycles. The issues are, there are certain important aspects of life. So let sometimes us, not you, even though it was court that did that, let us also at every time be patriotic and be positive. And may God bless KAFTAN TV that also propagates the country in positive direction.
Thank you so much. Time is never a friend when the discussion gets so very interesting. I want to thank my guest, comrade Salihu Dantata Mahmud, social analyst, a man of many parts. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you very much for your versatility too.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. And of course, our callers who called this morning, we appreciate you. Keep it a date tomorrow on the press right here, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and of course all through to Friday. And I want to appreciate everyone behind the camera. We appreciate you so much for your work this morning. My name is Anire Binitie. Stay positive. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.